The name of Allah, my dear students of class 10th, I'm your geography teacher Rubina Bande. Today, I'm with the third lecture of your chapter number 4, that is agriculture, and the topic for today's lecture would be institutional and technological reforms in agriculture. Here, we will also discuss Bhudan and Gramdan movement. Let us go to this, that why firstly, why do we need technological and institutional reforms? Why are these technological and institutional reforms required in our country? As we know that agriculture has been practiced in India for thousands of years. That means the agricultural practices is not a recent one. This has been the age long process. As I can show you this pie diagram, that majority of the people, majority of the population of India is engaged directly or indirectly with this sector, with the agricultural sector, as here it is shown by this green color. About 60% of the people are engaged with agricultural practices directly or indirectly. The, this sustained use of land without compatible techno-institutional change have hindered the pace of agricultural development. As this much of population is engaged with agriculture, so agricultural field must be developed. Okay, so these reforms are needed. This in spite of the development of sources of irrigation done by the government for the farmers, still most of the farmers are still depend upon monsoonal rains and natural fertility in order to carry on their agriculture. For this much of population, for the growing population of India, this poses a serious challenge. Here the growing population needs they do have growing demand of food, and this food is captured, or this food is given by the agricultural sector. So agricultural sector needs reformation. Agriculture which provides livelihood, which provides food for more than 60% of the population, it needs serious technological institution and institutional reforms. Here in India, government is taking initiatives to increase in agricultural production. Suppose a number of measures have been taken by the government, like firstly we will discuss the technological reforms. What are the technological reforms? What reforms were made in technological field? First, introduction of modern inputs were given in agriculture to increase the yield, to increase the productivity from the land. Firstly, here we have, it provides irrigation facilities. Government is trying to give irrigational facilities also to those very areas which have scarcity or paucity of irrigational facilities, like we have arid and semi-arid regions of India, in the form of wells, in the form of tube wells, in the form of canals, like we have an example of Indira Gandhi canal. Use of high yielding variety of seeds were given to the farmers, are still managing for the farmers, so that the productivity from the land would be increased. Again, use of fertilizers are introduced. Various types of fertilizers are made to compensate the loss of nutrient content of the soil. We are using these fertilizers to have major productivity from our land, from our farms. Also, the pesticides and weedicides were introduced by the government, so that the losses by these germs, by these worms, by these microorganisms would be minimized. Again, various machines were made, like we have tractors, tillers, harvesters, threshers for transporting the grains, for loosening the soil, for harvesting the crops, for separating these crops, separating the grain from the husk, etc. These were the technological reforms. Now we have institutional reforms, various institutional reforms. That was initiated by the government of India to increase in agricultural production. First, we have consolidation of land holdings. What is this consolidation of land holdings? The consolidation means converting many small and fragmented land holdings into one big farm. Basically, this is a process in which the farmers fragmented land holdings are pooled and then re-allotted them in a way that each gets a single form of having same size and same fertility. This will help the farmers and will be having their lands at any one pot. Okay. Second, it is abolishing of zamindari system. This zamindari system was also considered as a man's. This zamindari system, as we all know, was introduced by Cornwallis in 1793. Okay, and was introduced in the provinces of Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, and Varanasi, which was also known as the permanent settlement system. These zamindars, okay, were recognized themselves as the owners of the land. They were given the rights to collect the rent from the peasant, from the laborers, from the workers. And basically, I can say this zamindari system was an illusion for the farmers, for these zamindars given by the Britishers. The realized amount, the total amount from the land, or the total cultivated crops from the lands were divided into 11 parts, and only one part belongs to the zamindars, and 10 by 11th share belongs to the East India Company. Okay. Third, there is wide separate use of radio and television. The news related to the agriculture, the news related to the farms, fertility of the soil, the type of the soil available, or educate for different types of crops. The different types of newses were broadcasted in radio and telecasted in television, so that it will be easily accessible to all the farmers. And there was a crop insurance were also given to the farmers. Various rural banking and cooperative societies were made, okay, for the farmers, so that they will get easy loans. They will be given loans, they will be given credits, so that they will work on their farms. They will have all the facilities. They will get high yielding variety of crops. They will manage the pesticides, etc. And they will help, and this will be the timely help for the farmers to have the major productivity from the lands. As we see, we have KCC, Kisan Credit Card, where the loans were given to the farmers with a low interest rate. Also, minimum support price. What is minimum support price? For example, a farmer is cultivating wheat or is cultivating rice from the field. Due to some calamity, natural calamity, or any other sort of calamity, he is having a loss in the agriculture. He is not getting adequate or getting that much of cultivable grains as he or she or they um, they invested in their farms. Government is giving them an insurance, it is giving them a support that uh, we will buy your product with a rate when a minimum when with a minimum rate, so that your losses will be loosened, or they will be meet out. Okay, now there are different types of institutions set up by the government to modernize and improve Indian agriculture. First, we have Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, where different types of researches regarding the agriculture, regarding this farming, were made. Agricultural universities were made, where students were making capable of dealing with the agriculture, and would develop the field, would be having different types of developments in the agricultural field. We have veterinary services, we have animal breeding centers, we have horticultural development centers. Government has set up research and development in the field of meteorology and weather forecast, also improve rural infrastructure. Now we are going to Bhudan and Gramdan movement. What is Bhudan and what is Gramdan movements? Bhudan and Gramdan movement, both the movements are to flourish the village life, to flourish the farmer's life. This was basically a message, or this was an act given, or message given by Gandhiji, who was trying to have Gram Swarajya, a message to develop the village. And Vinoba Bhave was Gandhiji's spiritual hire. After Gandhiji's death, this Vinoba Bhave undertook Padyatra for Gandhiji's Gram Swarajya message to the country. Okay, while lecturing or speaking in Pochampally in Andhra Pradesh, a poor farmer, landless farmer, demanded land for their economic well-being. He told that we can be developed, we can have economic well-being, but we should have land for that, but we do not have any land for that. And this Vinoba ji assured them to talk to the government. He told them that I will go to the court, I will go to the government of India and will talk to them regarding this issue. But in there, this Sri Ramchandra Reddy, who was a rich landlord, he stood up and offered 80 acres of land to be distributed among 80 landless villagers, and this act, because of this, was known as Bhudan, means land gift. He gave his land as a gift to the village, in these villagers, the landless villagers. And this movement, this Bhudan, encouraged some other zamindars to distribute some of their land to the landless people. And after that, this was known as Gramdan, means village gift. The villagers, the landlords, gave their land as a gift to other villagers. This again, these many landowners choose to provide some of their lands to the farmers, not because of this they are doing any good work, but they did this because of the fear of land sealing act. This Bhudan Gramdan movement was initiated by Vinoba Bhave, and this movement was also known as the bloodless revolution. This was a sort of revolution. Every villager, the landless villagers, also got land, and the village, and these villages get developed without any blood loss, without any of these struggles or wars. And this movement was known as bloodless revolution. This was all regarding this lecture. For questions and queries, please contact me. Thank you.